Eagles quarterback Donovan McNabb, 9-4 all-time when he takes on the Dallas Cowboys. That's just what he and Philadelphia will do tonight when Dallas comes to Philly on Sunday Night Football. Welcome to Sunday Night Football on ESPN, coming to you from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, home of the Eagles, as they get ready to host the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. Mark Brown with you throughout tonight's game. Al Michaels and John Madden will have the call from Lincoln Financial Field just as soon as they're ready for the opening kickoff. Donovan McNabb has had success, as we just told you, against the Dallas Cowboys. 9-4 as a starter. They're coming in off a bye week. Take a look at what McNabb did last week against the Minnesota Vikings. Had a huge game. Accurate passing. And they beat a Vikings team that is good in stopping the run, so they went to the air to try and beat them. A little shuffle pass. Brian Westbrook, healthy and productive, and if he is healthy, the Philadelphia Eagles are always a much better football team. McNabb, the numbers on the season: 1,780 yards, been pretty productive, 8 touchdowns and just 2 interceptions on the season. Quarterback rating of 90.6, completing 60% of his passes, and a number of his passes go to his running back, Brian Westbrook. In fact, Westbrook's 35 receptions lead all Philadelphia receivers, including wide receivers. He is a multi-talented back who can carry the football and catch it out of the backfield. 3 touchdowns on the season for Brian Westbrook, 536 yards on the ground on 110 carries. They really need to put the ball in his hands at least 20 times a game. He is such an important part of what they do on the offensive end. He's been banged up a lot in his career, but when he can go, he does a tremendous job. 2 receiving touchdowns on the season, along with 3 rushing touchdowns for Westbrook, who will be a focal point of what the Cowboys will be trying to do defensively. Well, Tony Romo's had a productive season, and productive in the bank account area as well. Within the past week, has signed a 6-year extension for $67 million, $30 million of it guaranteed. Hey, you'd be smiling too, there's no doubt about that. Now, Tony Romo has been living up to the billing, there's no doubt. Romo, with a 95.6 quarterback rating, has been putting the ball downfield with accuracy, and the results speak for themselves. The Cowboys are 6-1, and his decision-making and his arm have a whole lot to do with it. Coming into this week, he'd thrown for the 2nd most yards in the league and 2nd most touchdowns. But against the Eagles last season, he didn't do particularly well. Look at the numbers for Romo: 14-29 for just 142 yards through 2 picks and an anemic quarterback rating of 45.5. But that was the old Tony Romo. This is a much more confident and productive Romo. And naturally, he'll be looking for Terrell Owens. Owens having another strong season as a big playmaker for the Cowboys. With 119 all-time receiving touchdowns, that's 4th on the all-time list. He has 5 of those touchdown receptions this year. T.O. is a man that can certainly tell you about what he's done and what he's going to do, but he's been a very productive player on the field, and we've had no issues with Terrell Owens so far this year, making all kinds of catches, going over the middle, and getting it done in the clutch for Tony Romo and his Cowboys teammates. Of course, Terrell is a former Eagle, and he made all kinds of waves and problems in Philadelphia, pretty much forcing his ouster. That's what he did last season with the 5 catches for 68 yards and 1 touchdown against his former team.
Oh, my. Everybody else setting records around the league. I might well set me one tonight. Yeah, sir. Yeah.
Philadelphia Eagles getting fired up for their matchup with the Cowboys. Eagles in danger of becoming irrelevant in the NFC East unless they can pull off the home upset today. Now let's go back to earlier action in the NFL. Larry Johnson, the Chiefs at home facing the Packers. Go to the fourth quarter. Kansas City down by 2. Damon Heward. Awful play action. Short pass to Johnson. And he is taken down just short. And look what happens. The right ankle gets rolled over. He did not return. Later in the fourth, though, with the same score, Heward on play action. I don't have Johnson. Let's look for Tony Gonzalez in the end zone. Yeah, good idea. Touchdown, Tony. Priest Holmes 2-point conversions. The Chiefs had a 6-point lead. Ensuing drive, Brett Favre on his own 40. Going deep to Greg Jennings. How do you let a man get behind you like that late? Packers win at 23-22 with a heroic performance from Favre, back-to-back weeks for the game-winning touchdown pass. Now Green Bay at 7-1 is the best record in the NFC. Redskins at the Jets. Kellen Clemens, the new quarterback for the Jets. On the opening kickoff, Leon Washington, you know, he's done this before. Makes the move out to his left. And then it's turn on the Jets. Just got a kicker to beat here, no problem. They're 86 yards, and the Jets are leading 7-0. Fourth quarter, though, just 15 seconds left. Jets down 3. Mike Nugent to try a 30-yarder to tie it up. Yes, on to overtime. About halfway through overtime, though, Redskins have a chance. Sean Sweezum from 46 yards to break the hearts of the Jets. Skins win 23-20 in overtime. Jets fall to 1-8. The Skins, how about this? 5-3 on the season. Very much in the playoff picture in the NFC. Portis, a huge game with 186 yards and a touchdown. Panthers and Titans, Vince Young and company hosting Carolina. Scoreless on 3rd and goal. Young back to pass. Maybe not. Just pull it down. 7-0 Titans. They're up 13-0 in the fourth with a 1st and goal. Lendale White had a strong game, blasted up the middle. It's 20-0. Late in the fourth, Panthers just trying to get a miracle here. Not happening. Matt Moore has it picked off. And the Titans win it 20-7. They're 6-2 on the season. Watch out for the Titans. Carolina falls to 4-4. David Carr had to leave that game with an injury late in the contest. Jags and the Saints down in New Orleans. Drew Brees. Looking for Reggie Bush in a tie game at 10 in the red zone. Little swing pass. They got it blocked nicely. Reggie walks it in. 17-10. 346 passing yards for Brees in the first half alone. On the ensuing kickoff, though, Maurice Jones-Drew, the diminutive one. But look at this stutter step and straight up the field. He's gone, untouched, 100 yards on the nose. Tie game at 17, 3rd quarter. Saints up 14, though, looking pretty good. Brees under pressure, buys a little time. Where's David Patton? There he is, touchdown. The Saints pull away in the second half to win this one 41-24. Don't look now, but the disastrous start for the Saints appears to be gone. They have made it to the 500 mark, sitting there at 4-4. Brees throws for 445 and 3 touchdowns. Anybody play him in their fantasy league? Broncos and Lions. Jay Cutler and the Broncos would have a very rough day in Detroit in the second quarter. Cutler going back to pass, hit by Sean Rodgers, and then 2 other defenders down on the play. This does not look good. Take another look. He gets twisted around, and 3 different guys get a piece of him, and he is taken off on the cart. Lower leg contusion, did not return. Lions up 6-0 in the second. Kitna looking for Mike Fury over the middle. Takes it in for the score. It's 13-0 Detroit. Fourth quarter, they pushed it to 30-0. This is incredible. Patrick Ramsey in for Cutler. Oh, that guy's wearing the wrong uniform. Sean Rodgers, what a game for him. The big fella rumbling and just stiff-arming tackler. 66 yards for the score. That's worth another look. Rodgers, 44-7 the final. The Lions did a blowout laugher at home over the Broncos, who fall to 3-5. Detroit is 6-2 on the season. Chargers and Vikings. Ryan Longwell and the Vikes trying to hang with the Chargers. The resurgent Chargers is tied at 7, 4 seconds left in the half. Vikings going for a 58-yard field goal. This kick is going to be short. Now, people have been putting return guys back here. Antonio Cromartie from 9 yards deep. The record's 108 yards, by the way, on a field goal return for a touchdown. Cromartie is yet to be touched. Look at him block this thing. Incredible, a new NFL record, 109 yards. Look, he is barely in the field of play when he leaps and catches that. 109 3/4 yards. The official right on the play. NFL history in the first half. Third quarter, more history. Adrian Peterson takes it up the middle, takes it outside, breaks tackles, runs very fast if you hadn't noticed. 64 yards for the touchdown, and it's tied at 14. Fourth quarter, Vikings already up 21-17, giving it to Peterson, who, by the way, is having a very big second half. This one is 46 yards for the score. Second touchdown of the day. Vikings pull away 28-17. Later in the fourth, Peterson going for history. Takes it left for 35 yards. Peterson had 296 yards rushing by 1 yard. Now a new NFL single game record, breaking Jamal Lewis's former record of 295. And oh yes, by the way, the Vikings win 35-17. Get this, Peterson had 253 of those yards in the second half alone. The rookie making history on his way perhaps to an NFL single season record. Cincinnati and Buffalo, it's a final. The Bills win it 33-21. They move their record to 4-4 on the season. The Buccaneers go one game above 500 with a 17-10 home victory over the Cardinals. A solid day for Jeff Garcia. Ernest Graham with 124 yards on the ground. The Falcons win one at home. Now both the Falcons and Niners are an abysmal 2-6. Joey Harrington, well, he does enough to win. Warwick Dunn goes 100 yards on the ground on 27 carries. So that is quite a bit of the story of what's happened so far in Week 9 of this NFL season. We'll get you caught up on everything else that happened earlier today on our way to the opening kickoff of the Cowboys and Eagles on Sunday Night Football. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the city of brotherly love, host for tonight's Sunday Night Football matchup on ESPN. The Dallas Cowboys and their 6-1 record are in town to take on the struggling 3-4 Eagles.
Jim Johnson's defense.
Look at Jim Johnson there, who is the defensive coordinator. Look at Wade Phillips, the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And, of course, Andy Reid, who's had a very tough period of time here. Both of his sons in legal difficulty, but he will continue to coach this team. It's time for the opening kickoff out at Lincoln Financial Field. We'll send you out to Al Michaels.
The Eagles and rookie Nick Folk will kick off for the Dallas Cowboys. The fireworks, the crowd rises this morning, and here we go from the city of brotherly love. Taken at the 11-yard line. Terrell Buckover straight up the middle. He comes to the 36-yard line. And that's where the Eagles will start their first drive. Bobby Parker makes the tackle. Let's take a look at the Philly starters.
Donovan McNabb, Syracuse University.
Brian Westbrook, Villanova University.
Thomas DePay, the University of Minnesota.
Kevin Curtis, Utah State.
Reggie Brown, Carrollton High School.
L.J. Smith, Rutgers University.
William Thomas, Florida State.
Todd Herman, Saginaw Valley State.
Jamal Jackson, Delaware State.
Sean Andrews, the big kid, Arkansas.
John Runyon, Michigan.
Andrews, a Pro Bowl starter last year. Runyon playing with a broken tailbone in his 12th season. McNabb will start from the shotgun on first down from the 36-yard line. Westbrook stays in the block. And then McNabb, with everybody covered, loses the ball, and the Dallas Cowboys have recovered at the 37-yard line. So the Dallas defense does its job. McNabb couldn't find anybody open, and Brady James winds up recovering the fumble. Marcus Spears punched the ball loose.
Right, and that's what you call a coverage sack, because he had plenty of time here. You see, and then he steps up and he buys some more time. He looks down, there's no one open, no one to throw to, and then Spears gets there. But the thing is, when he starts to feel that pressure and he's going up in the middle of the pocket, he has to figure, I can't throw the ball, I better get both hands on it.
DeMarcus Ware put the pressure on. Spears dislodged it. James recovers it. And now on first down, their first play of the night from scrimmage is a Julius Jones run for one. Here is the Dallas offense.
Tony Romo, Eastern Illinois.
Julius Jones, Notre Dame.
Deion Anderson, UConn.
Terrell Owens, Tennessee Chattanooga.
Patrick Creighton, Northwestern Oklahoma State.
Jason Witten, Tennessee.
Lozo Adams, Michigan State.
Kyle Kozar, Arizona State.
Andre Gerard, Colorado.
Leonard Davis, Texas. Mike Colombo, Boston College.
Julius Jones, the starting running back. We'll also see a lot of Marion Barber. They have split the carries this season. Romo gets rid of it quickly to Jason Witten, who is their leading receiver with 42 grabs, and he's tackled by Brian Dawkins. So Tony Romo, a guy who a year ago was barely known by anybody, breaking in as the Cowboy starter about halfway through the season, and John, now the recipient of a $67 million six-year deal.
And the way that he's playing, he deserved that. Remember the last Cowboy game we had, we talked about, really be a free agent at the end of the year and those types of things. And I said at that time, Jerry Jones isn't going to let this thing go. The Cowboys had a bye, and they signed him during the bye week.
They've had a tough enough time since the retirement of Troy Aikman finding anybody. On third down now, it is caught by Owens, and that move picks up the first down and a lot more, and Owens takes it all the way to the 10-yard line. What a job he did with Sheldon Brown. Brown had a chance to stop him just shy of the first down, spun around him like he wasn't even there, and gains 23.
Well, that's what Terrell Owens is. They talk about being a physical guy. He is physical after he catches a ball. When he turns and runs like this, he is very, very physical. And that to me is his specialty. It's not that he runs the greatest patterns, but after he catches it, he's as dangerous as there is.
Here's Julius Jones on first and goal. The nose of the ball was right on the 10-yard line. He gets 3. Second down and goal. Javon Curse in on the tackle for Philadelphia.
The one thing that the Cowboys are getting here early in this game is good pass protection, because if Tony Romo, as I said earlier, he is the real deal. And if he can get the time like he's had here, because he has that quick release, he has good velocity, and he has the receivers. The two that he's just thrown to, Jason Witten first, and then, of course, Terrell Owens.
Now Jones is out and Barber is in the game. Marion Barber, the third, is the running back. Owens goes in motion on second down and goal. Swings back to the right side. Barber, who has a nose for the end zone, will take it to the 1-yard line. Marion Barber comes in averaging 5.7 yards per carry with 5 rushing touchdowns this season. Trent Cole makes the stop. Third down and goal.
And they take Marion Barber out on this play. You'd think maybe that they would run him again on third down, because he's a great finisher. He's a great finisher of runs. He's a great finisher at the goal line. He's a great finisher in the fourth quarter. I would say that this is probably going to be a pass or a play action pass.
Second, as in second best, is the Philly red zone defense. Romo out of the shotgun.
It'll just be a drop back pass.
Instead, it's an inside handoff and an easy touchdown for Jones. They normally give it to Barber to run it in. For Jones, only his second rushing touchdown of the season. And for the Cowboys, just their second first quarter touchdown of the season. The other came in their last game before the bye.
A great job by offensive coordinator Jason Garrett making this call. He does everything that shows you it's going to be a pass. He takes Marion Barber out, puts in Julius Jones, gets in the shotgun, split back, and runs a draw on the goal line.
The rookie Folk with the extra point. So Dallas, off its bye week, comes out hot, red hot, off a Philly fumble. 7-0 Cowboys.
Live college football continues on NASN with an exclusive doubleheader. First up in the Big Ten, Mike Hart brings his Wolverines to Wisconsin. Then in the SEC, it's the Deep South's oldest rivalry as Auburn and Georgia meet in Sanford Stadium. A live college football doubleheader starting with College Game Day this Saturday only on NASN.
Hockey Fights Cancer has raised more than $9 million for cancer care, research, and awareness. Don't give up. Join our hockey family in the fight against cancer. Log on to NHL.com and join the fight. Don't give up.
These guys look fantastic. I'm so proud.
Join the Reebok Hockey Revolution. Visit NASN.com, your home for North American sports merchandise.
The NHL continues on NASN with a live doubleheader. First up, Philadelphia flying to Pittsburgh to face Sidney Crosby and the Penguins. Then it's a Northwestern Division rivalry as Edmonton face off against Colorado. A live NHL doubleheader Wednesday night only on NASN.
Watching Sunday Night Football on ESPN. The game is less than 4 minutes old, and the Cowboys already have the lead in Philadelphia. Let's send it back out to Al Michaels.
In fact, when the Eagles came out to warm up, several of them looked like they were in the middle of the game, trying to get the crowd going. Donovan McNabb and Brian Dawkins, and they were going, but a fumble and a Dallas drive has silenced them for the moment. Now, Terrell Buckwalter brings the kickoff back up to the 24-yard line, and as the offense comes out for Philadelphia, let's take a look at the Dallas D.
Marcus Spears, Louisiana State. Jay Ratliff, Auburn. Chris Canty, Wahoo Wah. Greg Ellis, North Carolina.
Brady James, LSU.
Aiken Adele, Purdue.
Marcus Ware, Troy.
Jock Reeves, Boilermaker.
Roy Williams, Oklahoma.
Ken Hamlin, Arkansas.
Terrence Newman, Kansas State.
John, we're going to have to go down to that Wahoo Wah one of these days.
That's where I'd like to be from. Where are you from? Wahoo Wah.
For the record, Canty went to Virginia. And there's a little screen that they set up, but the pass is too high. The coverage was there anyway, and already the crowd starts to boo. So McNabb has fumbled and then thrown a high screen. Donovan has played well in two particular games this year. One against Detroit when Philadelphia scored 8 touchdowns in week 3. They thought they had it turned around, but they didn't. And then his other good game was last week, John, in the Metrodome against the Vikings.
And he looked last week against the Vikings like he was moving better in the pocket. And that is so big for Donovan McNabb, that he can move in the pocket, avoid a rush. He'll be able to buy a little time to get the ball deeper.
McNabb coming off knee surgery, tore his ACL a year ago. Hands the ball off to Westbrook. He is tackled there by Canty, and that will set up a 3rd down and 6 for the Eagles.
You know, one thing about Donovan McNabb, you know, he can work his way out of a hole. You know, there are some quarterbacks that, you know, they get down and they just can't work themselves out of it. Donovan McNabb, I've seen him so many years do this. You know, get off to a bad start. I mean, he has a fumble, he has an interception, he has a bad play, and you think, geez, this isn't his night. And then, boom, he turns it around and it's going the other way.
Pass rating this year is 90, which is good. 8 TDs, only 2 picks. And on 3rd down, he converts as he throws to the outside, and it's Reggie Brown. Reggie Brown with 8 catches last week after he'd gotten off to a very slow start this year, and a 1st down for the Eagles, their first.
One thing Donovan McNabb told us the other day is he's going to look up Jock Reeves, number 35, and he says that they think that they can get some things done on him. And you know, when you have Jock Reeves on one side and Terrence Newman on the other side, one of the better corners in football, you're going to go towards Jock Reeves.
Anthony Henry is active. He's the other corner, but he will be used sparingly. Good play fake buys time, and then that passes into the Eagle bench. But Reeves is a guy, John, talking about Reeves and the fact McNabb figures to look his way a lot. Reeves is a guy who, you know, thought he might have been on the bubble in training camp, not only makes the team, but now with the injuries to Newman and to Henry, he started every game.
Yeah, that's what Wade Phillips was saying. I got a guy starting at corner that a couple months ago I didn't even know if he was going to be on our team. And and that's really one of the strengths of the Cowboys when they're healthy. Terrence Newman on one side and Anthony Henry on the other side.
So Henry standing on the sidelines. And this is Westbrook going through the middle and close to a first down and has it. They'll spot the ball across the 49-yard line. He's tackled by Brian Westbrook, their leading rusher, and their leading receiver, 35 catches coming into the game.
And Westbrook is one of those guys that you look at and you say he's not, a big running back, therefore he's just going to go to the outside and catch his passes, but he is a very good inside runner, and he's also a very good blocker.
And boy, did they miss him the last time we saw the Eagles on that Sunday night against the Giants. They didn't have him. It was the night, among other things, the Giants had 12 sacks, 6 by Osi Umenyiora. Across the 50 goes Westbrook. He takes the ball to the Dallas 48. Tackled there by Aiken Adele with 9 minutes to play in the opening quarter.
When you have a guy like Brian Westbrook, you just don't want to run him too much because you want to keep him in the game. You want to keep him fresh. I mean, he's your best runner and he's your best pass receiver. So you have to get Buckholder in there every once in a while just to give him a break so that he can play like your best runner and your best pass receiver.
Brian averaging 4.9 yards per carry. League average is always around 4. This year it's 4.1. McNabb stepping up, fires over the middle, on target, catch is made at the 33 by Reggie Brown. Inside the 20, inside the 10, and Brown will make it first and goal, taking it to 3 before he's caught by Terrence Newman. And boy, do they need Reggie Brown to pick it up because he was absent for most of the first month and a half of the season, came on last week.
I think they need Anthony Henry because they are going to work on Jock Reeves. They find out where he lines up, and they're going to run ins on him. They're going to run outs on him. That's what Donovan McNabb said the other day. He said, I'm going to look for Jock Reeves. I'm going to look for number 35, and I'm going to go after him. And I'll tell you, the other thing that is a big part of that is the pass protection he has.
From the 3 on first and goal. Westbrook cuts it back, gets into the end zone. The Philadelphia Eagles go 75 yards in 7 plays with balance, 4 rushes, 4 passes, and Westbrook in for the score.
And that's what Donovan McNabb can do. We said he fumbles and he comes right back and makes some big throws. Good blocking on the left side. The ball was starting to the right. That was play side. Good blocking back here on the left side so Westbrook could make the cutback. That's the thing. It used to be one time you really only had a block play side. You didn't worry too much backside, but now backside sometimes become run more to than play side.
Akers to the point after 8 plays from their own 25-yard line. 4 rushes, 4 throws. Reggie Brown with a big play to set him up for the Westbrook touchdown. And we're knotted at 7.
From the people who brought you College Game Day and the worldwide leader in sports comes the biggest thing to hit college football in years, College Football Live. A new way to get your fix every weekday with breaking news, exclusive interviews, and packed full of previews and predictions. Get ahead of the game every weekday with College Football Live on NASN.
Tomorrow night, join us for the Week 9 edition of Monday Night Football on ESPN. The Baltimore Ravens will be going to Pittsburgh to take on Big Ben and the Steelers. Don't miss Monday Night Football on ESPN tomorrow night. For now, let's get back to Sunday Night Football in Philadelphia.
Good sculptor. Kickoff by Akers is going to be fielded by Isaiah Stanback, who's making his NFL debut right here. And the rookie 4th-round draft pick out of Washington brings it back to the 28-yard line. So Romo comes back out to lead his second drive. 7-7 in Philadelphia.
Hey there, Horners. Tony Reale here, floating an invitation your way to go around the horn weekdays right here on NASN, Europe's leading channel for North American sports. Feast your eyes on my band, the Merry Journalists.
Cheerio, blokes.
Who contemplate, manipulate, debate the latest sports news from around the world. So, if you're a sports nutter, a novice, or just sleepless in Slough, you're sure to enjoy the banter. Don't miss Around the Horn right here on NASN. Horn!
Cheerio!
What do I control? I don't control the bumps and the bruises, the crowd, or who covers me. I don't control the bounces, the shootout order, or for that matter, what happens outside the rink. There are a lot of things in life I don't control. But then again, there are some things that I do.
You have to knock off the champion. And in order for you to get that trophy, it's got to come through Philadelphia.
If I was here in Philly, then yeah, that would be a great statement. But, you know, I'm with the Cowboys this year, so he'll have to watch on the couch, you know, come the playoffs.
McNabb and Owens giving the press a little to chew on this week. I guess in one sense you have to come through the town of the champions, and they did win the NFC East. But right now it's the Dallas Cowboys who are on top of the NFC East, but precariously at 6-1. Giants are 6-2, and they are off today. From the 28-yard line, Romo sends it a backside screen to Jones, who gets a block. And then Jones gets it up to the 33-yard line for a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5. He's tackled there by the tackle, Mike Patterson.
Yeah, we're talking about Tony Romo being the real deal, and I think that Jason Garrett, the offensive coordinator for the Cowboys, is also the real deal. And, you know, it's not going to be long before this guy's going to be a head coach in the league. And he's done, you know, he scripts the first 15 plays, and he has 2 goals. There's one to get Tony Romo going, and 2 to get his offensive line going. And in that first drive, he did both of them.
2nd and 5. Here's Jones for a gain of 2, tackled by Gaither. Garrett was almost the head coach before he even knew it, because if you think back when Bill Parcells retired, Jerry Jones went out and hired Garrett and didn't give him a job. He was either going to be the offensive coordinator, which he turned out to be, or maybe even the head coach. And then Jerry just looked around, found Wade Phillips, and decided this would be the perfect combo. Wade is the head coach, Garrett is the offensive coordinator, and maybe the eventual head coach.
Right, and so far Jerry's been right, and you look at Jason Garrett, you can tell he's a young guy by the font on that playlist.
3rd and 3. Jones on the inside give off the big rush, and Jones should have enough with the first down with forward progress. Everybody came for Philadelphia, and then Jones was able to take the inside give and just get across the yellow stripe. First down to the 39-yard line. They'll measure, but it appears to be a first.
Yeah, 2 big 3rd down plays. He ran a draw. Remember the one on the goal line for the touchdown was a 3rd down draw, and this one's a 3rd down draw.
Referee tonight is Scott Green. And that will be a first down. Tony Romo has had a lot of success getting outside the pocket this year, but the Philadelphia Eagles would like to, despite that, keep him in the pocket tonight.
Yeah, that's what Jim Johnson is saying, that they want to keep him in the pocket, or if he's going to be flushed, they want him to go to his left. So they don't want him to be able to get out of the pocket and go to his right. They say that's where he's the most dangerous. Either keep him in the pocket or flush him to his left.